Welcome to Political Beatdown. I'm Ben Meiselas, joined by Michael Cohen. A historic day today. Vice President Kamala Harris made her VP selection. Governor Tim Walz of the great state of Minnesota. I want to talk about that, but clearly it's bothering Donald Trump, who moments ago posted the following on his social media platform. Trump wrote, "What are the chances that crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the U.S., whose presidency was unconstitutionally," and he puts in all caps, "stolen from him by Kamala Barack Hussein," Hussein's in caps, Obama, not really a dog whistle anymore, "crazy Nancy Pelosi, shifty Adam Schiff, crying Chuck Schumer, and others on the lunatic left, crashes the Democrat National Convention and and tries to take back the nomination, beginning with challenging beginning with I can't even get through this, beginning with challenging me to another debate. He feels that he made a historically tragic mistake by handing over the U.S. presidency, a coup, to the people in the world he most hates, and he wants it back now." And then keeps on posting these things. He writes, I'm crying, it's so funny. He writes, "This is the most radical left duo in American history. There's never been anything like it, and there never will be again. Crazy Kamala is indeed crazy. I hear there is a big movement to bring back crooked Joe." Meanwhile, 2 hours ago, President Biden posted the following: "The first major decision a party nominee makes is their choice of vice president, and Kamala Harris has made a great decision in choosing Governor Tim Walz to be her running mate. I've known Tim Walz for nearly 2 decades. First, during his time in Congress and as governor, a husband and father, he's been a school teacher and a high school football coach. He served for 24 years in the Army National Guard and became the highest ranking enlisted soldier to ever serve in Congress. As governor, he's been a strong, principled, and effective leader. The Harris-Walz ticket will be a powerful voice for working people and America's great middle class. They will be the strongest defenders of our personal freedoms and our democracy, and they will ensure that America continues to lead the world and play its role as an indispensable nation. It's time for all Democrats, and indeed all Americans, committed to freedom, democracy, and American leadership in the world, to rally behind the Harris-Walz ticket. Every generation of Americans faces a moment where they are asked to defend American democracy. That moment is now." Let's bring in Michael Cohen, get his reaction both to Donald Trump's, I don't know how else do you describe it, like there really needs to be a 5150 involuntary psych hold on him. There are serious issues there, Michael Cohen. What's your reaction?
First of all, I just would like to go back for one quick second to the first post that you put up. Look at the names that this guy is calling everyone. And he's talking, you got, of course, he has to crooked Joe Biden, right? Then how is his presidency unconstitutionally stolen from him, right? It doesn't make, now all of a sudden he's worried about Joe Biden, right? By Kamala, that's a new one for him. He goes right back to the Islamophobic trope, which to me bothers me a lot, especially when you start talking about, well, why would they vote for Kamala over Trump? And I'm referring to Muslim Americans. Why? How about right there? Crazy Nancy Pelosi. And he goes on. I don't even think he spelled Pelosi right. But putting all that behind, right? You got shifty Adam Schiff, crying Chuck Schumer, right? And everybody on the lunatic left. There's only one lunatic that's here. This is not the behavior of somebody who wants to run for the president of the United States of America. And the big movement that we're talking about, by the way, the big movement is in his diaper. So I had to, of course, respond back because while he has these names and we've heard them all before and they're not all that great, Jeremy, if you got it, post the one that I put up because this was a newspaper article. This is true, by the way. Trump supporters wear MAGA diapers at rallies, a take on von Schützenpants. And the article goes on to talk about how these MAGA maniacs are going to rallies now wearing diapers and T-shirts that are emblazoned with diapers over Democrats. Could you imagine the sheer lunacy of this group of people, Ben? I mean, they are going to rallies wearing adult diapers for Donald's sake, diapers over Democrats. I believe that von Schützenpants is the greatest nickname ever given, not just in political history, but ever given in history altogether. And I want to be crowned right now by all of our brigaders as the king of all nicknames.
Move over to the side. Let me. Well, Michael Cohen, yesterday, Donald Trump spent the entire day with Aiden Ross. You know who Aiden Ross is?
Oh, I do.
He's a right-wing streamer who got famous for sniffing the butts of like hateful and racist people like Andrew Tate. When I say sniffing the butts, he'd actually do interviews and then sniff the butts of people like Andrew Tate. He'd sniff the butts of like girls who he would do interview with. And so Donald Trump shows up and says, you know, Aiden, you're a very respected person, I hear. You are very respected. So on the one hand, Donald Trump is calling actual respected journalists like George Stephanopoulos and others. He calls Slopadopoulos fake news. And then who he lifts up are people like Aiden Ross, a right-wing streamer who sniffs butts. And then Donald Trump's dance, like doing the weird, Trump does that weird dance thing. Let me show you.
I nicknamed that one too.
Where'd you nickname it?
That's the Donald jerking off two giraffes at the same time dance.
Get over here. Let me give you the crown again, Cohen. Wrong way. Not a great meteorologist to get up camera the opposite direction. Here it is. Here's our really incredible investigative reporting on what
the double dildo dance was doing. Exactly.
Play the clip. Play the Donald Trump doing an interview earlier in the day to try to rebut the fact that lots of people have been calling him weird. So he did an interview with this guy, Aiden Ross. You see Donald Trump there. For those who are on audio, you can't see it, but those watching, doing a weird dance. This guy, Aiden Ross, is a right-wing streamer who got famous for sniffing the butts of people. He would sniff the butts of girls and people he considers alpha males in his own world, and he would sniff the seats, and the people would say, sniff it, Aiden.
Get a good whiff, not some little ass whiff, bro. Go.
Don't Trump said that Aiden is a very respected individual.
You really are respected, amazing. I mean,
and that's how Donald Trump spent the day, with an actual butt sniffer.
The worst thing I've ever done with my sister is smell their underwear. That's it.
Just gets more and more insane, Ben, Jordy. What kind of Mad Libs is this episode?
You don't see investigative reporting like that on corporate media, do you, Michael Cohen?
I don't even know what I would call something like that. The kid's an idiot, right? And the fact that, first of all, again, it goes to the whole issue here that all of these folks on Donald's side, there's something incredibly weird and gross and just fucked up when it comes to them. You sniffed your sister's underwear? Seriously? I mean, that's not even, I don't even know how to describe it. It's as fucked up. And there's no other way to describe it. So I apologize because I am really trying hard to control myself, but it's so fucked up. It's as fucked up as Donald Trump talking about how he would date his own daughter if in fact that he wasn't the father. Who thinks like that? I mean, what are you doing? It's like it's not even weird. It's disturbing.
And then Donald Trump goes to him. You are a very respected person. That's who Donald Trump is lifting up right now. It's people like Aiden Ross. And so when you showed me the photo of, look, these people are showing up to Trump's events wearing diapers and convicted felons for Trump. I mean, look, Donald Trump's going to these traveling fascist circus things that he calls rallies. And what's he talking about? Hannibal Lecter, my late great friend Hannibal Lecter, the doctor, the great Hannibal Lecter. And it's not even tethered to like a story. And you're watching this, you're like, this is some disturbing stuff.
Well,
and
you know
have
something,
shady
right? But here's the funny thing too. You'll notice, and we played it the last time that we were on, when he went to Atlanta. You notice that about a third, if not 40% of that stadium was vacant, right? They were all empty chairs. This act, this shtick is getting old really, really fast.
So
you know,
true.
it's getting old really fast. And people are like, you know what? Honestly, been there, heard it, saw it, and so on. I want something new and fun, something a little bit more, Real Housewife-ish, right? It's an old rerun again and again and again. How many times are you going to talk about sharks, boats, electrocution? I'd rather be electrocuted than eaten by a shark. Quite frankly, it's just, hold on. Right. That's the problem. It is old and it is tiring, and nobody is interested in this old shtick anymore. It's for the same reason why nobody goes to see black and white movies, right, at the theaters anymore. No interest. Not interesting, not fun, not current, not anything. And you know what? He's beginning to see it. So the very first thing that you talked about, Ben, is Donald losing his shit. And the reason for that is, don't think for a second that he doesn't notice every single empty seat at one of these rallies.
Also his running mate, Shady Vance, was caught Googling and posting things like woman gets violated by dolphin and enjoys it. Like, that's what his running mate was posting. Michael Cohen.
How would he know? How would he know that she enjoyed it? Think about, again, it goes right back to the whole sexist, misogynistic nature of these two individuals and the whole GOP inner circle. Did you call her up and say, hey, by the way, when you were being violated by a dolphin, did you enjoy it? Where does something like that even? No, I know it's so weird that we're even been engaging in this type of a conversation. It is so fucking disturbing. The fact that Donald is still within, here you go, maybe the internet was a mistake. Maybe J.D. Vance, you were a mistake, right? I mean, maybe you were the mistake that Donald knows that you were. This is not normal shit. This is not normal shit. None of it is. And besides, that's not normal shit. None of it is. And there comes a point in time that we, brigaders, this community, the Midas Touch Network community, those of you that follow me on my YouTube, by the way, which is crushing it, thanks to so many of you, 120 with that. By the way, we can get to the 250 journey if each of you just asks one friend, just one friend to subscribe.
Did you order your plaque?
I did not get my plaque. How do I get it?
You order it with YouTube, 100,000 subs.
All right, we're going to do that as soon as we're finished with this. But maybe Jeremy can handle that for me. Let's get somebody to do something for Michael. But here's the thing. This is really not a joke anymore. And it is incumbent upon all of us, through all of the Midas Touch Network affiliates, through my Mea Culpa Political Beatdown, my YouTube channel, The Michael Cohen Show, all of this. I'm not joking now. It is incumbent upon us to keep talking about this. Do not allow them to bury exactly how crazy that these people are and the absolute stupidity that emanates from that gaping anus underneath their noses. We cannot allow it to stop. And I'm telling you, if we keep pushing this, there's no doubt this is going to be a landslide Democratic victory in November, not just for the presidency, but straight down the entire ballot.
Have you heard, Michael Cohen, that there is a sequel to Hillbilly Elegy, the J.D. Vance story that's out in theaters? Did you hear about that?
No.
There is. It's the story about how a man with no convictions met a man with 34 felony convictions. And there's a trailer that's been released for the Hillbilly Felony, it's called right now. The story nobody wants to see. I want to get your reaction to it, Michael Cohen. Let's play the trailer.
I didn't vote for Trump.
The people who are most deranged and most psychotic are people who don't have kids at home.
The vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact.
I didn't come from the elites.
He was a nobody.
J.D. Vance, author of Hillbilly Elegy.
He came from nothing.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
You said idiot if you voted for him.
I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter.
Might be America's Hitler.
An idiot and a moral disaster.
You got to respect the American people enough to just level with him.
But wanted to stand for something.
I didn't think he was going to be a good president, Brett. He was a great president.
Himself.
You know, Senator, this is an evolution.
All of a sudden, he decided not only isn't Trump noxious and reprehensible, he's now the greatest president of his lifetime.
JD is kissing my ass. He wants my support.
From the party with no platform.
I'm a never Trump guy.
He's the best president of my lifetime.
A man with no convictions.
Donald J. Trump guilty on all counts.
And a man with 34 convictions.
I did absolutely nothing wrong.
In a story about freedom.
It was meant to be, at least a little bit.
Okay.
Freedom to rig elections.
Give votes to all children in this country, but let's give control over those votes to the parents of those children.
The freedom to be racist.
Now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
And the freedom to control women.
Roe versus Wade is an abomination. We're effectively run in this country by a bunch of childless cat ladies.
The people who are most deranged and most psychotic are people who don't have kids at home.
If you don't have as much of an investment in the future of this country, maybe you shouldn't get nearly the same voice.
J.D. Vance also thinks stepmoms aren't really moms. Women should be staying in marriages even if they're violent marriages.
These swing voters do not like him, and they do think he's weird.
No, we're not weird people. We're actually just the opposite.
From the directors of two fake charities.
We've always had a good chemistry. JP, right? J.D. Mandel.
It's Hillbilly Felony.
I love you guys.
I love you guys. I love you guys. Come on, Cohen. Come on.
Hold on. Now you're getting crowned. Hold on. Boom. That was
that's a new move that we do. I like that move.
Boom. Absolute genius. Genius. By the way, there's so many now stories that Hillbilly Elegy is not even really his story. It's actually a story of somebody else that he went to school with. That it's like a compilation of multiple different individuals. It's really, look, let me be very clear about something. This party, the GOP party, we need to dismantle it once and for all. I am a firm believer, despite the fact I have been a Democrat virtually my entire life. People are like, oh, you're a Republican. No, I was for a short time when I had to switch parties because I was the vice chair of the RNC Finance Committee, and I couldn't be it or continue to be on it as a Democrat. So they switched me over. Let me be very clear. I've been a Democrat virtually my entire life. All right. I am a firm believer that we need two political parties, at least two political parties. Otherwise, democracy is in danger. But what I'm 100% opposed to is the fascism that comes out of a Trump party. And you may remember from my book, Revenge, the very final line of the book. Trumpism is fascism, and we must eradicate it from our body politic. This is no joke, my friends. I mean, this is, it's a circus of clowns. And if you have the the clown at the center of the ring, it's a shit show. That's just what it's supposed to be. And it's not supposed to be, this isn't supposed to be a joke. It's not supposed to be, humorous or comical. This is our country. This is our democratic republic. This is not supposed to be about one man along with his sidekick, right? Shady Vance, figuring out how to take from the country. It goes very, very, I mean, we talk about a difference, what can, it's not what you can do, what the country could do for you, but what you could do for your country. That ideology does not factor into Donald Trump's brain. It just doesn't. And this Shady Vance talking about, it's not even a flip-flopper. The guy was one of the most critical of Donald Trump. He called him American Hitler. Seriously? You know what you're talking about here? Enough. Time out. Let's all take a moment and let's figure out what else we can do in order to ensure that these two assholes never get a chance to see the inside of the White House ever again.
Well, I'll tell you what Vice President Kamala Harris is doing in making her VP running mate selection of Governor Tim Walz. I think she's picking someone who's not afraid to spar with these MAGA Republicans, not afraid to call them out. And he's someone in a state like Minnesota, he's delivered for his state. A former Army officer, a former social studies teacher, a former state champion football coach, a former congressman from 2007 to 2019, and currently an extremely successful governor in Minnesota. And in a few months, he will be the next vice president of the United States if things keep on going the way they are right now. I want to show you the video right here, Michael Cohen, of one of his appearances in the past 2 weeks. Talk about one of the most consequential media hits or appearances in recent history. Here's Governor Walz calling out the weirdness of Donald Trump and this MAGA movement. Here, play the clip.
How are you going to build a water treatment plant in a town of 400 if you don't have a collective effort at it? So I have to tell you, they scream socialism. We just build roads and we build schools and we build prosperity into this. Their whole plan is to go backwards, to give tax cuts to the wealthy. And look, it was so surprising. These super successful Donald Trump who inherited $400 million and then proceeded to fail at everything. Middle America, you earn it, but you know what? You're not on your own. Neighbors help neighbors. And I will, this one bothers me. I heard you talking about punching back at the bullies. They see people less fortunate as scapegoats and punchlines for their jokes. We see them as neighbors. And I said it with my mom. My dad dies when my little brother's young. We're teenagers. We get Social Security survivor benefits. I'm all for pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. We didn't have any boots. Social Security was the boots, and we pulled ourselves up, and we paid that back. And I think J.D. Vance gets none of that. It's the aw shucks, I'm from here or whatever. So my hillbilly cousins did not go to Yale, but I'll tell you what they did. They contributed to our community, and they're proud of it.
Look out for your neighbors. Stop being weird. The Governor Tim Walz way of politicking. We love to hear it. Thank you so much, Governor.
And here's Governor Walz on the trail stumping for Vice President Kamala Harris last week before he was selected as her VP pick. Let's play this clip. If we've got it. Do we have it, Jeremy? Maybe we don't have it. You don't have it. 1 sec. What'd you make of that last one?
Sometimes look, let me be clear about something here. There is a reason why when you had 3 other great candidates for VP, Josh Shapiro, Mark Kelly, and Bashir, all 3 of them, hands down, make Shady Vance look like the shady schmuck that he is. And there's a reason why Kamala Harris and her team ended up choosing Walz. I believe he's going to be able to speak to rural America. I believe that he, on paper, including his public appearances, are all going to help to galvanize, parts of the American population that were still undecided, and how they could be undecided. Yeah, Shady Schmuck is right. How they could still be undecided when we are confronted with daily stupidity that is boundless. I just don't. When somebody turns around and they want to question your race, why are they doing it? If that's not offensive to everyone, doesn't matter, black, white, brown, makes no difference. When you have someone like a Donald Trump who is now questioning Kamala Harris's race, she's not black enough? Is it something like the same thing about that stupid line about that the immigrants are taking black jobs, that nobody can tell me yet what a black job is, what Donald was thinking? I mean, I know what he was thinking. We all do, but it's only our opinions, right? He can't come out and answer what a black job is. So what does he say? It's any job that a black person has. Genius. Genius. This is who I want negotiating with Russia and China and North Korea and, and Turkey and Egypt and Iran. This is the genius that we need because he is the master deal maker, right? Schmuck. It's enough. What are we doing as Americans? What are we doing? There is no reason in the world that he should be within 30 points right now of Kamala Harris. Between him and Shady Vance and the attacks on the black community, women, black women, on just America. Here, let me say this. Let me go one step further. Ben, join me in this conversation for a second. Think about this for a second. When was the last time that you heard Donald Trump, and our brigaders are going to agree with this one. If you agree, all right, I want you to smash the blue heart button for us. But think about this. When was the last time that you heard von Schitzenpants say anything good about America? We hear America dummies. Our politicians are dummies. America is bankrupt. Everything that comes out of Donald's mouth as it relates to America is a bashing. It's a negative statement about the United States of America. We are the beacon on the hill for democracy around the world. We have the #1 economy in the world by a multiple. It is a reason why everybody wants to come to America and few people are actually leaving. All right. There is a reason for it. This man shits on America every single day, talking about how we are becoming a shithole country, that migrants are taking over. It's a bunch of, drug dealers and murderers and rapists are all coming in. Our crime is out of control. When was the last time he turned around and he said, America is the greatest country in the world? And the answer is never. And that alone should be disqualifying. And no one should ever want to vote for somebody that doesn't believe in America.
Michael Cohen, I'm loving your hot takes on @The Michael Cohen Show YouTube channel. Over 120,000 subs and growing. I think you'll hit 250,000 subs soon. We ordered you your 100,000 subs plaque, Michael Cohen, which you can display right behind you once it ships to you. So again, you can all subscribe to that @The Michael Cohen Show on YouTube. It's free. By the way, make sure you're subscribed to the Midas Touch YouTube network. I want to try to hit 3 million subs by the end of August. Let's try to get there together. When we get back, Michael Cohen, I want to talk to you about Justice Merchan's order from today, letter brief or letter order, where Justice Merchan says, please note, I am not moving the September 18th, 2024 sentencing. None of the things you're doing, Donald, is changing the fact that sentencing will take place September 18th, 2024. Michael Cohen, you were a key witness in that case. I want to get
the key witness.
The key witness. I want to get your take exclusively here on your show, Political Beatdown, on our show, The Brigaders Show. We'll be right back after our first quick break.
And now let's take a quick break to talk about our next partner, Roan. If you're like me, you understand the pains of finding out what to wear. Let's face it, most clothes are uncomfortable or too tight or never actually the size that you really are, and not to mention the annoyance of trying to put together a good outfit. And when you finally do have a good fit, you can only wear it for a few hours before you have an important meeting or dinner, and then you have to change. Everyone wants to dress their best and look good at all times because, frankly, it's a confidence booster. So here's the deal. Men's closets were due for a radical reinvention, and Rhone stepped up to the challenge. Rhone's commuter collection is the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man. And here's why. Rhone helps you get ready for any occasion with the commuter collection, which offers the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, and polos. You never have to worry about what to wear when you have the Rhone commuter collection. Rhone's comfortable 4-way stretch fabric provides breathability and flexibility that leaves you free to enjoy what life throws your way, from your commute to work to your 18 holes of golf. It's time to feel confident without the hassle. With Rhone's wrinkle release technology, wrinkles disappear as you stretch and wear the products. It's that easy. With the Gold Fusion anti-odor technology, you'll be smelling fresh and clean all day long. And on top of that, Rhone is 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaner altogether. I absolutely love Rhone. This has truly become my go-to commuter fit. We're on the move a lot, whether it's jumping from meeting to meeting or catching a flight or an important dinner. The Rhone commuter collection has never let me down. The versatility and overall comfort of the collection is undefeated. And even after I wear it all day, I still feel super fresh because of that Gold Fusion anti-odor technology. The commuter collection can get you through any workday and straight into whatever comes next. So right now, head to Rhone.com/Cohen, that's Cohen, and use promo code Cohen to save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you head to RHONE.com/Cohen, Cohen, and use code Cohen. It's time to find your corner office. And now, back to the video.
I've been trying to lead a heart-healthy lifestyle, but finding the energy to keep up healthy changes, like exercise, has been an uphill battle. We often think that living a more heart-healthy life means making big, unsustainable changes. With Superbeats heart chews, you can get daily blood pressure support in just 2 tasty chews a day. And they even promote heart-healthy energy without the stimulants. So paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Superbeats are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone, something that I desperately need. I mean, I feel more energy than ever without the dips that we're all used to with coffee and energy drinks. Nothing is better than supporting my blood pressure and being able to have the energy to make the changes that I know are crucial. So double your potential with Superbeats heart chews and get a free 30-day supply of Superbeats heart chews on all bundles, plus 15% off your first order by going to getsuperbeats.com. That's GetSuperbeets.com and using code BEAT, B-E-A-T. That's GetSuperbeats, BEETS.com, code BEAT.
You like those Superbeats, Cohen, huh?
I love Superbeats.
Get over here, Cohen. Get over here. My favorite thing I've discovered.
Let me. I want to say something since we were talking about, his attacks on Kamala Harris, attacks upon her race. He's questioning whether or not she's black and so on. I want people to remember this. Who took his ass down for $500 million in a civil fraud case?
New York AG Letitia James.
Tish James, our unsinkable attorney general, who took his ass apart in a criminal conviction that he's going to be on September 18th sentenced, the first president in the history, or former president in the history of this country, to lose, a criminal case and to be sentenced.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg and Susan Hoffinger was the main lawyer.
That she was. All right. What do these people all have in common? Not Susan Hoffinger, Alvin Bragg, Tish James, Kamala Harris. They're all black. All right. Donald Trump has an issue with black people. He always has and always will. And the fact that that doesn't get called out more and more on a daily basis America is a melting pot. We've all learned that since we were like in grade school, that America is the greatest melting pot in the world. It's where everybody comes in order to be able to experience freedom, right? The Statue of Liberty, give us, you're tired, you're poor, you're hungry, yearning to be free. This is what America is. It's what we stand for. It's not what Donald von Schitzenpants stands for. All he stands for is himself.
You know, you have this photo that we posted on Midas Touch. It's Governor Walz, and then it's Huckabee Sanders. And you see Governor Walz surrounded by children, and they're happy. He just gave free lunches and free meals to all children in the state. And there you have Huckabee Sanders taking away the freedoms and taking away the rights of people in her state. And when you look at Governor Walz, now the presumptive Democratic VP nominee, you look at just his record on things. I mean, it's all about protecting freedoms and delivering results for his state. Universal school meals, stronger labor protections, cannabis legalization, stronger LGBTQ plus protections, paid leave and paid sick leave, 100% clean energy by 2030, reproductive right protections, $1 billion for housing, gun safety. He cut child poverty by 1/3. And he's equally supported by AOC and Joe Manchin. They both came out with very strong statements supporting him. As AOC says, Dems in disconcerting levels of array. I think that's a funny statement right there. Let me show you. This was Governor Tim Walz stumping for Vice President Kamala Harris and perhaps auditioning for that selection that he got about a week ago, where he called out Trump and MAGA and Cohen. It sounded very similar to the way you've made these arguments before. Let's play Governor Walz. Let's play it.
But these guys are just weird. That's who they are. So it isn't much else. Don't give them the power. Look, are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes. They're going to do all that. But don't lift these guys up like they're sometimes the heroes. Everybody in this room knows, I know it as a teacher, a bully has no self-confidence. A bully has no strength. They have nothing. The fascists depend on fear. The fascists depend on us going back. But we're not afraid of weird people. We're a little bit creeped out, but we're not afraid. But look, and then as you heard this, and one day ago, a poll came out and showed Kamala Harris up 10 points and Donald Trump getting his ass handed to him here in Minnesota. So, sorry. But he's here today in the state of hockey to complete his trifecta. He lost in 16, he lost in 20, he loses in 24.
Donald Trump down in all the major national polls as well right now. Harris up 2.1% in the average national polling averages, and when you get into the swing states, she is up as well. Cohen, I want to get your reaction to that clip. Then I want to talk Justice Merchan, but that feels a little beatdown-esque, don't you think?
Yeah. You know, look, a bunch of our brigaders actually took the words right out of my mouth. I wrote it down so that I didn't forget. Not going back. When you see Tim Walz speak, all that needs to be going on in your head, because it goes on in mine, not going back. We're not going back to the ways of Donald Trump. We're not going back to the GOP ways, which benefits only a select few. You start to see, like out in the Hamptons this weekend, he was there at a fundraiser. They raised $10 million. Howard Lutnick put it on, shut down all of the Hamptons, literally from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. for him to make $10 million for his coffers. None of them are doing it because they like Donald. None of them are doing it because they respect Donald. They're doing it because they know that Donald is what is referred to as a useful idiot, that they're going to be able to use him to get what they want. Lutnick has this one platform called, it's like FEX, which is going to be a platform for the trading of bonds and swaps and things like that. And he knows that there's something that he's going to need from Donald. And if, in fact, he gets it, which he would get it if Donald became president, is worth $1 billion+ to him. This is for them all about money. It's them accumulating even more money than what they already have, which is more than anybody could spend in 1,000 lifetimes. But they need more. It's the greed of the Republican Party at the expense of the American people. And this is where it's wrong. This is where it is absolutely grotesque. And just, I'm so nauseated by all of their bullshit already. Enough becomes enough. All right? Not going back. Every time you see Tim Walz, every time that you see Kamala Harris, every time that you see Ben and myself talking, whether it's on Political Beatdown or any of like the Midas show, the Midas Brothers show, any of the Midas Touch Network podcasts, just keep saying to yourself, keep posting in the comments, not going back. Not
Michael Cohen.
Going back.
Someone posted this, and I thought it was just kind of pitch perfect. Chef's kiss. Someone said, so this election now has essentially become the following: America's fun aunt and America's fun dad on the one hand versus a convicted felon in Donald Trump and your weird cousin in Shady Vance. I think that's just so perfectly stated. I want to talk, though, about Donald Trump selling sneakers, different kinds of footwear for sale. Pull it up, Jeremy. We've got the Trump fight high tops that he's selling, assassination edition sneakers. I don't want to talk about it. That's real. He's really doing that, but I don't want to talk about that. What I do want to talk about, Michael, he's really selling these things. What I really do want to talk about, though, is Justice Merchan's order from today. And Justice Merchan filed this in the court docket where you were the key witness. And here's what Justice Merchan said. He talks about all of these filings that Donald Trump's made trying to recuse Justice Merchan, and Trump's made motions to dismiss based on absolute immunity. But Justice Merchan in the last paragraph says, please note, the court appearance scheduled for September 18, 2024 at 10 a.m. remains unchanged. That's the sentencing date. We will proceed on that date and time to the imposition of sentence or other proceedings as appropriate. Please keep these dates in mind if you still wish to file pre-sentence recommendations. Michael Cohen, your response.
My response is I had the honor of sitting in the witness chair for about 25 hours before Judge Juan Merchan, before the jury of 12. And what he's basically saying here in this document, and that's the way we do things here in New York, it's by paper, that September 18th of 2024 shall be known as National Lock Him Up Day. That's just what it is. And no matter what they try to do, no matter how many delay tactics that his lawyers like Beauvais, right, or Todd Blanche, the sloat, the stupidest lawyer of all time, no matter how many delay tactic moves that they tried, they ran out. This was now the third time that Beauvais and Trump's legal team have tried to recuse Judge Juan Merchan from this case. How do you recuse somebody post a conviction? I mean, I'm not sure I've ever even seen something like that happen. But that doesn't mean anything to Trump and to his team. They will just try. They will try and try and try again for the purpose of delaying it. The last thing he wants is for the 5 weeks to come, September 18th, where he has to bring his diapers and his fat ass right there to the court, and he's going to have to sit and then stand as Judge Juan Merchan imposes, again, a sentence upon him. Whether it's going to be, and you know, I hate it when people say, I want to see him locked up in Rikers Island. Personally, I don't give a shit. I really don't. I really don't care if it's Rikers Island or he gets locked up in one home, can't play his golf, people can't come and go. You know, there's telephones are going to be monitored, no internet, same as if he was in prison. The only difference is the food will be in his own refrigerator, and he will be able to control the television set instead of having to watch whoever was controlling the remote control for that specific time period. Other than that, he needs to be, dealt with in the same way as every other prisoner, as every other felon and inmate is in the state system. Plain and simple. So again, as we continue, Ben and I, on our beatdown and our various different podcasts and social media platforms, I want you all to remember, yes, mea culpa. Subscribe and listen to it now. There's a lot of us that's on here. It makes a difference. 9/18/2024. That's September 18th of 2024 will forever be remembered as National Lock Him Up Day.
Michael Cohen, two-finger salute.
Two-finger salute can only go to one person. Let's just bring it to the team of Trump Vance for all of the horse shit, all of the bullshit that they keep spewing on a day-to-day basis. I hate the fact that it's not the first time that we're giving it to Donald. It's not the first time we're giving the two-finger salute to Shady Vance. It's just they don't stop. And this, again, is the danger. This is the danger of these two idiots, all right? And so on behalf, Donald Von Schitzenpants and Shady Vance, on behalf of all of our brigaders, on behalf of all of our subscribers, whether it's my new YouTube channel, The Michael Cohen Show, Political Beatdown, Midas Touch, whether it's the Midas Touch Network, the Meiselas brothers, Political Beatdown, fuck you both. On behalf of the 3 million subscribers to Midas Touch Network, fuck you both.
Want to remind everybody of a programming note. After Political Beatdown ends, make sure you sign on to the other live that we have starting right now. Vice President Kamala Harris speaking in Philadelphia with Governor Walz, her VP pick, for the first time. I'm not sure if you'll automatically be taken into that live. If not, just sign off of this live, join the other live on the Midas Touch feed. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Tell a friend, family member, coworker, neighbor, whoever's in your life. Tell them about this network. Or if you go to their house, you could even search the Midas Touch YouTube channel so it plays on their algorithm over and over again. Michael Cohen.
Two more things. One, we have to come up with a date for our next Patreon event. And the second, I want to let you and the brigaders know in advance that I am actually going to Chicago, and I'm going to be streaming, and I'm going to be doing it through Midas Touch Network. I'm going to be at times streaming the Democratic Convention, which is going to be, it's like a 3-4 day event. I intend to be there, and it looks like I just got my ticket. So I'm ecstatic about that. It's going to be a whole bunch of functions and parties, which I, again, intend to show here and on my YouTube channel and so on and so forth. So just stay subscribed and stay ready, because there's a lot that's going to be going on over the course of the next month.
Patreon.com/political beatdown, patreon.com/political beatdown. Also, store.midastouch.com for all the best Midas Touch gear and Political Beatdown gear as well. People are loving that Vice President Kamala Harris gear, but don't sleep on Exhibit, or the exhibit from the Trump criminal trial that Cohen was asked about. The Mar-a-Lardo Correctional Facility shirt, also at store.midastouch.com. Thank you. There it is right there. There's Mar-a-Lardo Correctional Facility. That was an exhibit in the Trump criminal trial where he was convicted on 34 felony counts, and Cohen was cross-examined and asked about the Mar-a-Lardo Correctional Facility.
We should send him an extra large.
We should send him one. We'll talk offline about that. Thanks everybody for watching, and remember to join the live stream right now of Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz's speech in Philadelphia.